welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Itwa. Thank you so much for joining me on this video. If you're catching me for the very first time, you're welcome. Please take a seat and don't forget to subscribe, if you enjoyed this video. And if you're already a part of the family, like I always say, I do not take your support for granted. From the topic, you can see that today I'm going to be sharing my experience about what it is to have a child abroad, comparing it to when you have a child in Nigeria, that kind of thing. So if you are a mom, a parent, please let's keep the conversation going in the comment section. First of all, let me tell you a story. When I found out that I was pregnant, we tried to get a visa for my mom to come over to Estonia. If you don't know, I live in Estonia, Tallinn, and then we tried multiple times, but it didn't work out. As at that time, I was already in my, I think, second trimester, third trimester, that kind of thing. And when it dawned on us that she was not going to be coming, that's myself and my husband, I can't even explain how I felt. It was so devastating. Like, I was like, how am I going to do this alone? Because we already made plans to be around family and that kind of thing, and it was like all our plans were not just working out. And luckily for me, I have somebody I call my sister-in-law here in Estonia. She was also telling me about her own experience and telling me that it is difficult, but it is possible. And I also had a number of people who also had the same issue, saying that it is difficult, it is doable. And from my own experience growing up in Nigeria and having aunties, neighbors, and the rest of them having babies, you always see that they have that community, they have that support. There were times when my mom would leave the house early in the morning because she wants to go and bathe a friend's baby, or a family member gave birth, and you see all the aunties and everybody will gather to take care of that child, at least for the first few weeks or months of that child's life. And having to know that I was not going to experience that was really it was really heartbreaking for me. Now, the second story I'm going to tell is when I went back to Nigeria. In fact, this is what brought about this topic. When I went back home to Nigeria, if you don't know, I went to Nigeria November last year, 2024. If you've not seen that vlog, I'm going to plug it up here. And then the experience for me at the time I went, my baby was already, she was just like a year plus. But I was able to have an idea of what it would have been for me to have my baby in Nigeria, where my family members, my husband's family members, where you have like community and that kind of support and that homeliness. I was able to experience it, although it was very short. I was able to experience what it meant, and to be honest, it was like I really missed out on a lot. No regrets anyway, but it just made me feel some kind of way. And one of the things I'm going to be talking about is the fact that you have your mom close to you. The honest truth is that when you have your baby, apart from your partner, the person you actually want really closest to you is your mom. And this is because she has gone through this thing before. She's like in the best position to guide you, with her own knowledge. She's the one that can treat you actually like a child. Let me not just say your mom or your mom figure, for people who do not have their moms around, your mom-in-law, people who have gone through that. Because the truth is that at the time you have your baby, everybody's focus is on that child. So you need somebody who would also take care of you, who also bathe you, press your body, cook for you, and just focus on you, so that you can have that time to recover and get yourself, or who can also take care of the baby. It's not just two people who are learning at the same time. This is somebody who has experience, has taken care of babies upon babies, maybe 2, 3, 4, and has a lot of experience, and that person is there to guide you. Like I was saying, when we were in Nigeria, my baby began to run temperature, and then we got her this paracetamol, and then we were trying to give it to her, but she was shaking and the rest. And then my mom just collected her from me, and within seconds she has put the drug in her mouth, and me and my sisters were just looking like is it film trick? This is what experience is about. Like, I was still doing let's pet her, let's do, and it was just like just did her like, just touched her like, open your mouth, and she was like so quick, so fast. It was like Another experience I had was when I visited my parents' in-laws, and in the morning it was time to bathe my baby. I just carried soap, sponge, and I just stood while my mother-in-law was just bathing her, and I was like, Honestly, it might seem like a very small detail, but for me it meant a lot, because it was like, imagine bathing her every day. I'm not complaining, but just having somebody else take that load off you once in a while, it really made me feel like this is what you have been missing, feeding her, playing with her. Or during my sister's wedding, when it was my, sister's in-laws, that I didn't even know where my daughter was, to be honest. Like, I knew she was safe, yes, but for most of the time, she was just with my sister-in-law. She was my sister-in-law, she was with my husband, and they were just carrying her. Like, I didn't have to, like, panic and say, who do I drop her for? Or who do I know? There was no, like, timetable the way my husband and I usually do it when we are here in Estonia, and we have to think of, okay, if you're going out by 4 o'clock, you're going back by 6, okay, and then me, I can leave by 6:30. All those kind of things were not there, because you had a community. And this is not to say that there's no community here in Tallinn. Of course there is, but the truth is that because of the way the society is, it's more like people tend to, like, mind your business. And even though people are wanting to give themselves and offer their help once in a while, the truth is that it can never be like when you are home. Talking about my experience back in Nigeria also, we visited a couple of families and friends, and one thing we noticed was a lot of them had help, some even up to 2 or 3 people who were assisting in taking care of their kids and taking care of their households, unlike what you have over here. And in Nigeria you have affordable yeah, I mean, that is relative. Comparing it here to Estonia, where if you are paying somebody to come and live with you for 12 hours, or paying somebody to come and work with you 12 hours, or a living help, and then you know that you are going to be paying that person heavily, it's almost like you are working just to pay that person. So at the end of the day, it's like, so why not just stay home and take care of your baby? And it kind of made me feel, I don't know the word to use. It wasn't like it wasn't sad, but it was like, when you see like your alternate reality, when you see this would have been my life, that kind of thing. That was exactly how I felt. Like, oh, so if I was in Nigeria, I'm also going to have like one person living with me, or 2 people being able to, like, okay, somebody's going to the market. And apart from even having people who you pay to run all these kind of errands and chores for you, there's also the community. You have your neighbor, you have your church members, you have people from your work that are like ready to assist you, which is totally different from here. I mean, you might not even get a congratulations you have given birth from your workplace. Like, you are off. That bond that we enjoy is actually, to be honest, is not available as much as it is in Nigeria. There's also the issue of postpartum depression. When you talk about the fact that you have people around you, you have people who are able to lessen the load for you, you are able to bounce back easier. I was having a conversation with a mommy friend of mine, and we're talking about, is this why postpartum depression is more common in the Western world than it is in Nigeria? Like, because you have that community, you have your mom, you have your aunties, you have your in-laws, you have your pastor's wife, you have the women group in church, everybody's rallying around you, especially as a first-time mother. And then you are able to get all the help and resources that you need, unlike here in Tallinn, Estonia, where it's like you have to like do it yourself. Like, I remember when I was asking them in the house, like, you just give birth and you just carry the baby home, like, that's it. I remember even asking them, like, how often should I bathe my child? You're like, as often as you like. Those kind of things, when you might not even think about bathing your child yourself, because there is somebody who is ready to do that. I know that people's experiences are different, and I am talking based on my own experience. And I also agree with that fact that postpartum depression is not as much because you have that community around you. This is not to say that life in Tallinn, or being a mom or being a parent in Estonia, is totally bad. Not at all. I'm going to be highlighting some of the points. Now, the first thing I'm going to talk about is that we have this extended leave. My baby is almost 16 months now, and I've been at home since before she was born. I've been on maternity leave for that long, and I still have a couple of months more to go, which is definitely not possible when you're back home in Nigeria. I mean, some companies or institutions give as little as 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks, I think, at most. And then you have to start thinking of putting your child in daycare or hiring somebody that is going to be taking care of your child. Looking back at it now, if I had to resume work when my baby was 3 months, thinking about it now, I'm like, I don't know if I would have been able to do that, because at 3 months, she was still very tiny. I'd not even gotten my sanity back, you know, and then you have to go back to work, and I mean, you just have to continue living your life. A couple of friends of mine who are also in Nigeria and have had babies, and they always tell me that you are enjoying, you know, you are still at home, you know, that kind of thing. And it's like, I'm lucky, you know, when you compare it with that, when you compare it with, you know, the Nigerian system, this is an advantage to me, the fact that I have an extended period of time to spend with my daughter, to bond with her until it is time for her to, you know, start school. Another advantage that I'm going to be talking about is the fact that I have job security. So even if I'm away for 1.6, you know, years, or is it 1.5, 1 year 6 months, apart from the fact that I have 1 year 6 months, you know, to be with my baby at home, there's also the fact that, you know, I cannot be sacked during that period of time. I just need to send a mail to my company when I'm ready to resume, and my job is waiting for me, which is not, I don't think it is possible. If I was in Nigeria, I don't think that is possible. You cannot leave your employer hanging for 1 year 6 months. To be honest, I have up to 3 years, you know, to be with my daughter until I resume work, and my job is secured for that period of time, you know. So that is something that definitely cannot happen in Nigeria. You cannot just leave your work for 3 years, and it's not even like, don't even think about it. Talking about comparing both climates, you know, I was having a conversation with a couple of friends, and you know, this question was asked that if you had to choose between having your mom come and stay with you for just 3 months, or having this 1 year 6 months to stay at home, like, which one are you going to choose? It was a very hard question. It was a very hard question. Please let me know in the comment section, if you're a mom abroad, if you had to choose between just staying 3 months and your mom is available to you, and after 3 months you go back to work, or you're doing it on your own, you know, you and your husband for 1 year 6 months, which one are you going to choose? And to be honest, I couldn't choose, because I'm like, there's benefits to my mom coming, there's a huge benefit to my mom coming, but also the fact that I've been able to watch my daughter grow before my eye. Like, I've not missed anything. I've not missed her first step. I didn't miss her first word. I didn't miss her transitioning to solid. I didn't wake up one morning and something has happened, or I didn't go to work and come back, I want it. You know, those kind of things did not happen to me. I'm actually watching her, you know, I'm actually watching her grow. So for me, that is like a plus. But it's like, I can't choose. I can't choose between both of them. And when I just think about these things, I would say that, you know, whatever situation you find yourself, just be grateful. You know, I know it is not easy, even for mommies in Nigeria and mommies over here abroad, you know, managing and navigating this motherhood alone. And that is why it is very, very important to build a community. Like I said in you know, one of my previous videos, that, you know, I have a community of mommies that I lean back on, you know, ask questions. And the very good thing that I think God has blessed me with, especially here in Estonia, is when I was pregnant, like, I had people who were like, "It's why, if you need anything, let us know." Like, I had people that I was sending messages, where can I do this, where can I do that, and they were readily available. I think that's another thing that, you know, is different from there. Like, if you need help, you need to open your mouth and ask for it. I think when you want to compare it to Nigeria, and some of my friends that I've spoken to, it's more like the help is readily available to you, compared to, you know, here in Estonia, when you need to ask, because everybody is busy, everybody is going to work, everybody has their life, and like, it's just like on the go, you know. So you need to open your mouth and ask for help if you really want help. My light just went off, so I'm just going to be ending the video here right now. If you're a mom, you know, navigating life abroad, you know, just you and your husband, let me know how it has been for you. And if you're a mom in Nigeria, I mean, let me also know. Let's talk. Let's talk. You know, I really hope that this channel is able to bring mommies together, and that we can share our thoughts, our experience. If you love this video, I mean, I have other videos on motherhood, I'm going to be linking them, you know, please watch it. Please watch them. Spend more time on my channel and watch those videos. Thank you guys so much for spending time with me. Don't forget to like, don't forget to share, subscribe, and keep the conversations going in the comment section. Keep the conversations going in the comment section, please. Let me just be replying your messages. Let's just be chatting and be commenting. All right, so guys, thank you so much, and I will see you in my next one. Bye bye.